Jimmy Thang from Maximum PC here. We're here at NZXT's suite at CES 2013. I'm here with Rob. And Rob, what are we taking a look at here today?
So today we're announcing the Phantom 630, and right here we're going to take a look at the matte black edition. So the Phantom 630 is our new Ultra Tower, and it's not just a full tower because we put more than just extra slots into it, but it is a 9-slot case with the ability to mount 6 hard drives plus 2 SSDs and 4 optical bays. So right here I did a build, and this is featuring an AMD 8350, and it's being cooled by our new NZXT Respire T40, and I set that up in a push-pull configuration. Down below I've got 4 7970s installed, taking full advantage of the 9 slots, and powering it all. I've got the Hell 90 V2 1200 watt. And so the great thing about the Phantom 630 is all of these are air-cooled components, and so I was able to remove 100% of the hard drive cages, put in some extra fans down there, and open up the front fan area, and I mounted the 2 SSDs in the rear in RAID 0, and so it creates this big crater full of just airflow, and so that just optimizes every component in the case to be better cooled and live a longer life.
Cool, and can you talk about some of the individual features and inputs?
So it's got 2 USB 3 ports, 2 USB 2 ports, your standard audio. It's got a 30-watt fan controller. It's a single channel, but on the back we have a fan hub that goes up to 10 fans, and I'll be able to show you that in a little bit. In addition to all that, it also has an NZXT card reader in the front here, so you can plug the card in and even shut the door without any hassle.
Okay. And this is a bit, it looks a bit shorter and wider?
It's actually, it's only about 10 to 15% shorter than our previous Switch 810, but it is definitely wider. It's 235 millimeters, leaving up to 35 millimeters for cable management. So it's got room for very large non-modular power supplies or very intricate cable management.
Cool. And did you want to walk on to the
Sure.
white?
So over here I've got a triple monitor setup, and I did something a little bit more special, a little bit more weird though. I've got a triple 680 setup in here, but instead of just standard air coolers, what I've done is I've taken 3 of our NZXT Kraken X40s and put them on each of a GTX 680. So right now we're getting load temperatures on each 680 at about 40 degrees, opposed to the standard 79.
Right.
On the CPU, I've also installed our Kraken X60, and opposed to the black build, I've left all the hard drive cages installed. So I've got a total of 8 SSDs running in here for a total of 2 terabytes of RAID 0 SSD storage. And so that shows you just how versatile the case is. It's a little bit different aesthetics because it is just packed to the gills on this side, but that just shows you how versatile it can be.
In addition, it seems like correct me if I'm wrong, but does the surface seem a little glossier?
Yeah,
than that one?
that's right. We're using our glossy white finish on this Phantom 630, and so this is really the traditional Phantom styling that most people know and love.
Cool, and I saw that earlier. I saw that it had like a pull-out tray.
Yeah,
for
so
the fan.
every aspect of this case is filtered. We've got bottom front filters. We've got another one in the rear. We have filters mounted on the 2 top fans, and I'll even show you on the front of the case. We have another toolless filter right here. No screws, no mess necessary. All you need to do is just pop it off. So.
Cool. I'm trying to take a look at the front
Yeah.
here. Awesome, and I believe we have an empty case we can kind of play around with a little bit.
So over here, this is sort of our demo just setup, and so you could really see the amount of effort we put into the design and engineering of the chassis. And so that was the key thing with the 630 is this is our engineering phase, if you want to call it. We spent almost a year in development just on the chassis alone. And so you'll see a split level design allowing for more cable management and cable management channels in the back here.
Can you talk about the split level design?
Yeah, so that allows you to have a full-size motherboard, but also extra cable management room down on the bottom and near the hard drives where you really need it the most. So instead of having to, say, with a non-modular power supply, spread your cables out so you can shut the panel, you can actually just tuck them in right here where we have this inside mounts.
Cool.
So in addition to all of this, on the back, these were the SSD mounts I had mentioned earlier. This allows you to completely remove all of your hard drive trays for extra water cooling or extra air cooling and just mount 2 SSDs in the rear. Up top here is where I have the fan hub that I had previously mentioned, and this is completely fan controlled, so you can install 10 fans and fan control every one of them, but instead of having tons and tons of wires that make a pretty big mess, we have a very elegant, simple solution.
And then there's a switch at the top, I believe.
Yeah,
that controls all
so
that?
this switch right up here is a 3-step 30-watt fan control switch, and what's cool is we actually have little LED indicators here, and you can kind of tell where the fan position is by the slider, but the LEDs just give it a really easy, quick glance approach to it.
Cool. And can you just give it a good spin so we can get the whole entire
Sure.
thing? And when is the release date and the pricing?
So it's actually being released. Was released yesterday.
Okay.
You'll start to see it on shelves within 2 to 3 weeks, and reviews start to pop up within about a week.
Cool.
The MSRP is $179.99.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We look forward to reviewing it.